The jurisdictional boundaries on earth make it easier for us to see events that are happening as disconnected. But in the sovereign rule of God, everything is happening under a unified purpose. Because in the eyes of God, the world is not too far apart. God sees the world as one place which is carrying his agenda. The account from Genesis chapter 40 tells us about when Pharaoh had a dream about 7 years of famine and 7 years of abundance. And around that same time, God had moved Joseph from his father's house to the land of Egypt, where he is known to be someone who can interpret dreams. Now, through these events, God lifts Joseph from prison to a place of power. And eventually, he moves Israel and his descendants from the land of Canaan and established them in Goshen of Egypt. Years on, God raises Moses, and through him, he does mighty miracles to deliver the Israelites from bondage in Egypt. And in the process, he proved his superiority over the gods of Israel. Fast forward, you will think this is just the history of Egypt, but that's of the Israelites in Egypt, but that same history reflects in the life of the Messiah in Matthew chapter 2, when God told Joseph and Mary to take the baby Jesus and move to the land of Egypt because Herod was after his life. And scripture tells us in Matthew chapter 2, the verse 15, that this was done so that the prophecy of Hosea will be fulfilled, that out of Egypt have I called my son. God's seasonal move also is effective through individuals because he raises individuals to make these generational moves possible. So in one season, he might be moving the Israelites to Egypt. In another season, he's moving them out of Egypt. Eventually, he was moving them through the wilderness to the point where the Messiah was born. But none of this was just happening for happening's sake. It was all towards a specific purpose. In the same way, in this our generation, God is still working under a unified purpose. So wherever you are positioned, whatever your calling is, whatever your giftings are, which part of the earth you have been established, the resources at your disposal, the people that you are with, is all towards the agenda of God. When God prophesied about Cyrus, in fact, the prophet Jeremiah prophesied about the birth of Cyrus years before he was born, and God had to make sure that he will be enthroned as king of Persia so that the temple of Jerusalem could be rebuilt at that point in time. It is not by chance. Your life is not an accident. It is serving and contributing to a bigger agenda. Meditate on the seasonal move of God and the move God is making even in our generation. God bless you, and I'll see you another day.